yet. I guess they're working on that. But I do believe you can hear me now. How is everybody today? It's a Saturday Q&A in Co-op World. My name is David T Rosen. I am so happy to be here with you today on this Q&A to answer your questions and get those questions answered. I've got a couple of announcements that I want to make as well, which is going to make which are actually really exciting, especially because it's been such a long haul. So one of the announcements is super exciting. And listen, guys, first of all, I want to congratulate everybody for doing such a bang up job on doing what you need to do to build your system and build your business and start setting up that foundation. Because last week, in the last 7 days anyways, we've had over 4,000 people who have joined, and a lot of those people are using the free system. And let me tell you what that's doing. So those 4,000 people, and by the way, pretty soon we're going to be doing 40,000 a day, but those 4,000 people that people have put into the system right now, you see, what that is doing is multiple fold. It is building the foundation for the people that are using the system, even if it's just a free system. You know, it's building that foundation for the people that are using the system. It's showing them that, in fact, that they can build a team. And it's showing them that if they do build that team, what they can expect when those people decide to pay. But more importantly, what it's doing is that when we start sending out the emails on a regular basis, and we start setting up those we start sending out the campaigns, because we have campaigns that are set up specifically for the free members. We have campaigns that are specifically set up for you, our active paid members. And you know, so we've got several email campaigns that are set up. There's a few other things that we're doing as well, but we've got these email campaigns set up. So keep building, because as soon as we turn those on, like there's 180,000 people right now that are in co-op free. So keep building. Like the 4,000 that came in over the last week, that's great. All those people are going to become part of your team as we start sending out those emails. So keep up the great work. Awesome, guys. It's beautiful to see. Now, here's something else that I want to announce. And I think you're going to all be very excited about this, is that we now have a launch day, right? So launch day is April 15th. It is in 2 weeks from now. And that's going to be launch day. And I can tell you that right now I am so excited about that launch day, because we've done a lot. There's a lot of things that you guys can't see right now that's happening in the background. This is going to be something special. It's going to be really spectacular. And even though we haven't launched yet, listen, we still sent out thousands of payments last week in the last 7 days to people who made withdrawals. We still had tens of thousands of dollars in royalties paid out. You know, we're doing it, and we're still under the blankets at this point. So listen, to all of you that are being proactive, building your team, keep it up. You're doing a great job. And I know for a fact, because I talked to so many of you guys, that you can see what's going on. And even in these early stages right now, man, the joy that I hear in the voices of the people that I speak to right now, when they say, David, listen, I wasn't expecting this to happen, and this is what happened. Or, hey, listen, David, I took your advice from that last Zoom webinar that you did, and I actually started using the free system and some of the tools that are back there. And man, what a difference that makes. And they're also telling me that because they've taken the time to add these people as free members, you know, they got a different conversation that they can have with those friends when they call them up. They're not calling them up and say, hey, come and join me, right? They're calling them up and say, hey, listen, the system said that I can invite a few people every day, and you were one of the people that I decided to join me. And here's what I've done. I've set up this free account for you so that we can both see how great this system is and start building our team and start creating our future. And here's what's great. I know you guys have got it going on, but here's what's great is that, I know that we've both got a few friends, and those few friends, they don't think they can market. They don't think that they can do business. They don't think that they can, that they think their life is going to be pegged into that 9-to-5 job. But here's what we've been able to do with some of these people is we're showing them that they can actually do this business. So folks, again, congratulations, doing a great job. Let's keep it up. Today's webinar that we're doing right now, it is we don't always get a lot of questions during the Q&A, and I think that's because the system is so simple. It's so easy to understand, so there's not a lot of questions. But if you do have questions, whatever they are, and by the way, no question is too small. So whatever those questions are, let's use this time that we have today to get those questions answered. So put them in the Q&A. Where do we want them, Joe? Do we want them in the Q&A or do we want them in the chat? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, guys. So put them into the, by the way, that's Joe. She's our producer. Put them into the chat, put them into the Q&A, wherever they are, we'll get them and we'll get them answered because like I said, it's everything that we do here, it's all about you. It's all about helping to ensure that your success is being met with what we're doing here at Co-op Business. And I don't know what day it was. It might have been last week's call. It was on one of last week's call. I mentioned a word that I became familiar with, and it was called simplexity. Simplexity. It's a combination of simple and complex. And I fell in love with that word because that's exactly what we've got here with Co-op Business, is that our system may be the most complex business model that's out there for what we're doing. But from your perspective, it's really simple, right? Because you don't have to download any software. You don't have to learn anything. You just use the tools that are there. You do the inviting, let us do the igniting, right? And it's such a beautiful system. I love that word. I think it's going to become one of my favorite words in the next little while. So Joe, I know that we've got a few questions already. Why don't we get right at it?
Okay, first question. Why do my team's new signups on second level not showing up in my cooperative? One of them did, but his ID number is not showing.
Love that question. Love that question. So this is another part, just trying to get my camera straight here. This is another part of that simplexity that I was talking about, right? So our system is very, very complex. And when you personally invite somebody, it's someone that you should have their information because you invited them. So you're going to have their registration key. You're going to have their email address, their phone number, and so on and so forth, because these are people that are part of your personal team. So you can find those people by going to Co-op Team, and you'll see them. You can see who's free and who's active as a paid member, who's a global business owner. You can see who's lapsed, because there are a few. There's not many, but there's a few lapsed people right now. And when you look in your cooperative, and that's what the gentleman was talking about right now. When you look into actually, I think it was an anonymous, so I don't know whether it was a gentleman or a woman. So when you look in your cooperative, you're going to see various levels. And in the Co-op Business Cooperative, there's only 3 people on your first level. only a possibility of 9 on your second, and each time it keeps going down further and further. So the people that you personally invite, you can see their registration key and their name. The people that your teammates have invited, you can't see their their registration key, because that's private to them and the person that invited them. So the only information that you see is the people that you invited. Everyone else, you just see their names. And the same thing happens if your cooperative is filled down to the 6th level and you invite somebody new, that person's going to fall on the 7th level. And when you log into your cooperative and you're looking through it and you get down to that 7th level, when you see the person's name and a donor key, registration key beside it, that's because that's someone that you personally invited. So I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, please feel free to put a follow-up question. What's next, Joe?
Is there a PowerPoint that GBOs can download?
There isn't yet, but there will be, at least, at the very least, there will be prior to our launch date on the 15th. And I think if you guys, and you guys can tell me yay or nay, if you like the presentation that I did on Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be more than happy to put it in the back office so that you can download it. The only reason I haven't yet is because, as you can see, almost every presentation right now, because we're getting into that groove. You know, we want to get, like right now, we're sort of in 3 or 4 different grooves. We want to get into a single groove. You know, we want to get that presentation down so that it's the same presentation that we do here. It's the same presentation that you would do when you're doing your table talks. It's the same presentation that you would do when you're talking to a friend, or when you're having your own webinar presentation. So we want it to be consistent, and that's why we haven't loaded it yet. But if you do like what I did on Tuesday and Thursday, let us know, and I will put that into the dashboard somewhere under the marketing tools.
It looks like some people are saying yes, so that would be a good
Okay.
add.
All right.
How can we be added to the Zoom link outreach?
I'm not sure. Do you understand what that question is?
So I think they just want to be invited to this Zoom session instead of just watching it from the YouTube link.
Oh, go to Co-op Business and register with us, and you can register as a paid member or as a free member. And when you're a registered member, then you get you'll get the emails letting you know when these webinars are happening.
Okay. Marcel asked, can we get the recordings of the webinars?
Yeah, we've been sort of stingy on those things so far. And one of the reasons why we've been stingy on releasing the recordings is pretty much the same reason that we've been stingy on releasing the PowerPoints to the dashboard. Is we're still working through the process, and we're not 100% satisfied that that's going to be our final presentation. So that's why we've been a little stingy. But people have been finding them because there's views on our YouTube channel, so people are finding them. Have you been making them live, Joe, or how are they finding them?
I think they just use the link from the live, and that grants them access unless we just delete them.
I see. Okay. Yeah, so people are finding them. We got a YouTube channel, Co-op Business, so you can find some of the videos there, and they're being shown live there as well. And by the way, pretty soon, because we're going to supersede the amount of people that we can fit on Zoom very, very quickly. So soon we're going to start just doing everything live directly to YouTube. That's coming very, very soon as well. So that's another thing to look forward to, is that we'll be sharing these live on Zoom. What's the next question, Joe?
Joe
And by
asked,
the way, just before you ask me that next question, because sometimes I hear something in my mind, and sometimes I talk way too much. So if I haven't answered the question for the person, please remind me that I haven't.
Okay, Joe asked, can we have a video showing how to process payment? I made 2 installments in the system and I am not an active member. I appreciate the help. Thanks.
The answer is yes. I've made a couple of promises that I'm going to get that. I've done it a couple of times. I wasn't satisfied with the copy that I did, but 100% I'll have a how to register video, and it's on the last video that we did. And I think you can find that on YouTube. And I've also sent it off to some of our leaders so that they could share it with their teams. But it is on that video. But I am going to make a very compact video, because the registration process is really, really quite a simple process. But if you don't understand it, I can certainly understand how you might find it difficult. And for the person, I think you said the person's name is Joe as well. For that person, log into your dashboard, your co-op business dashboard, click on wallet, co-op wallet, and then click on invoices. And when you click on your invoices, if there's a red sort of trash can beside the invoice, it means that that invoice has not gone through. It means that it hasn't been started, it hasn't been initiated, or there was something wrong with it. So no funds had been sent. If you see an invoice that there's no red trash can beside it, that invoice, it means that it's being completed. If you're still not an active member, click on your wallet balance and see how much money you have in your wallet. Maybe you sent a load, maybe something went wrong with the transaction and it loaded funds instead of giving you tokens. So there's a few things that you can do there. And if you have if you have funds in your wallet and you're not active yet, you can activate yourself by saying buy tokens, and then just buy the tokens with the funds that are in your wallet, and that'll activate yourself as well.
Okay, next question is, I need a QR code to set up Authenticator. Where can I get it?
Okay. To set up your Google Authenticator, you can go to Google and type in Google Authenticator, so it takes you directly to the link. Because when you go to Authenticator and you go to either the Android store or the Apple store, and you put in Authenticator, you're going to get a whole bunch of different authenticators, and they may not be the right one. So you want to make sure that you download the Google Authenticator. Let me see if I got it here. Where are we here? Here we go. Well, I wanted to show you something here, but it doesn't really do it. So, for example, you see that's the Google Authenticator there. I was unable to sort of look at the full screen there, because it showed too many things that I couldn't really share on there. But you go to Google Authenticator and you open it up, you push scan barcode and point it at the QR code on the site. And just like that, it sets it up. It takes like a half a second. And once you've set it up, then click on enter code and you'll see one of the codes. Let me see if I might be able to show you some of those here. Yeah, I can't, because there's too many codes that I can't share that are on there. But if you share, if you just like I say, click on the scan the QR code, and then click on the button that says enter the authentication number. Enter that number, and boom, you're good to go. And you'll do that each time that you're doing one of the financial transactions on the co-op site, because we protect your money, we secure your money with the Google Authenticator. That answered the question, Joe, or did I confuse the person more?
They just have to go and download it, I think.
Yeah, is that all I had to say?
Yes. So I have David Benbow here, and he's just making a note. He sent us his biz number, and he needs support with his wallet. So I'll send you his information so that you can just make a note of that one.
I'm going to assume that that's your donor key, David. If you can just say reply with a yay or an A, and I'll take a look at that. And if you've got the right email address in your co-op business site, I'll send you an email. I'll have support send you an email with the answer to your question. And by the way, there's something else that we're getting ready to do, especially when we start, and we're already doing it. We authenticate the emails now. So if you put fake email addresses in there, they're not going to get sent to the people that have fake emails. So we authenticate every email address that comes through, and pretty soon we're going to start authenticating all of the phone numbers and addresses as well, to make sure that it's all valid information, because we're going to be dealing with some big bucks, and we want to make sure that the people are getting what they're supposed to be getting, and we've got accurate information if we need to get a hold of them for any reason.
Okay, great. So Deborah asked, how do I transfer my 628 tokens from CoopCrowd to Co-op Business? My business partner purchased them yesterday for me. I couldn't when he sent them to my donor key in CoopCrowd, not Co-op Business.
Okay. Send a support question through to support, and you can get the support from either your dashboard in Co-op Business or Co-op Crowd, and support will help you out. And if you put your donor key in there and just say that tokens are in Co-op Crowd, if you put it in the chats, I'll get it off to support for you as well. So we'll help you out with that.
Okay, Grant asked, I noticed when add funds to wallet is used, there is a different USDC destination address from the one to activate.
Well, as a matter of fact, there's not a different USDC address from the one to activate. Every time you get an invoice, you get a brand new address. Our wallets are completely private, so you're going to get a new wallet address every time that you go to do a transaction. We'll talk more about that, but Co-op Wallet is probably, I don't know of another wallet that is as private as Co-op Wallet. So that's why you get a different ID every time, because we keep everything like private.
Okay, next question's from Fiona. Could you clarify for newbies, what do they have to achieve to getting their monthly subscription paid automatically?
Love that question. Thank you, Fiona. All right, so this particular answer is going to be a little longer than some of my other answers, because I really want to make sure that this is clear. When you register in Co-op Business, there's only two steps. Sorry, to achieve success in Co-op Business, there's only two steps. Number one, you need to register, right? If you don't register, then you can't be a global business owner in Co-op Business. So the first step is to register. That's $99, one time out of pocket. When you register for that $99, you get 3 Co-op 28 tokens. And you get a pay it forward token or a give it forward token from the person that invited you, for a total of 4 for a total of 4 Co-op 28 tokens. Your second step, which is really your first step, because I don't know whether you can really include registration as being a step, but your second step, to ensure that you receive the maximum amount of royalties for everything that happens in your co-op business, is this. You need to invite at least 3 others to join you as co-op business owners. At least 3 for others to join you as co-op business owners. When you do, that provides you with $26.25 in royalties. One more person registers, whether it's from help from above, help from below, or you register another person, that will put you over the $28. When you're over $28, you're now in the system potentially forever. So 3 plus 1 and you're done. But to maximize so that you ensure that you always get the maximum amount of royalties, you want to have 3 personals who have 3 personals. So 3 who are global business owners, and each of those 3 also have 3 that are global business owners. Then every single thing that happens in your co-op business, you receive top dollar. And folks, when you've accomplished that goal, you don't have to do it every week. You don't have to do it every month. If those people stay active, you will never have to do it again, and you will always receive maximum royalties in co-op business. So to get to that top level, you only have to have 3 who have 3. And that sets you up to receive a predictable, ongoing passive income in perpetuity. So you want to get 3 who have 3 as quickly as possible. And for those of you that are like Fiona, who know a lot of people and are really superstars in this business, you can have 5, you can have 10, you can invite 1,000, right? So you can invite as many people as you want to co-op business. And the more people that you do, the more it personally helps you, because if you pretend you have a restaurant, think of co-op business as a restaurant. If you sell 3 plates of food, then you're going to get the rewards from 3 plates of food. But if you sell 100 plates of food, then you're going to get the rewards from 100 plates of food. Co-op business works in a similar fashion to that, whereby the more that you invite to become global business owners, obviously the bigger your reward is going to be. And the beautiful thing about co-op business is it's a $99 one time out of pocket, but then it becomes $1 a day, and it's paid every 28 days. So when you and here's the beautiful thing is that if you do what you need to do, like if you invite 3 who have 3, and you want to do it in 28 days, you don't want to do it in 50 days or 100 days, right? You want to do it in 28 days, minimum of 28, maximum of 28 days. You can do it in 24 hours. You can do it in 7 days. It's all up to you, right? But you want to make sure that you got those 3 who get 3 within those 28 days. That means that those 3 tokens that you bought for the $99, those 3 tokens are used as pay it forward tokens for you. The same way you received a pay it forward token from the person that invited you, those 3 tokens are used as a pay it forward token to help you help your friends get started. And then that process keeps happening over and over and over again. And within no time, you now have enough money coming in on a every 28 days to cover your monthly bills. You have enough money coming in every 28 days to keep you out of debt. You have enough money coming in every 28 days to ensure that your dreams are funded, right? And when you see the new site, there's gonna be another section on there, and it's going to talk about co-op venture funding, because that's really what we're doing, right? We're giving you the ability to make money, but mostly we're giving you the ability to make money for your business, right? Because that's what it's all about. So you're going to love our strategies moving forward. Fiona, if that didn't quite answer your question, because I know it was long-winded, please put a rebuttal question in there, and I'll try and redo it again. But thank you for the question.
Okay, next question is from Bishop. I signed up about 2 years ago, but I am kind of stalked because I don't know where to start now. Or
Love
stuck,
it. Love it.
maybe he was trying to say. The truth is,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was a paid member, so what do I do now?
Love it, Bishop. Obviously, if you stopped over a year ago, you're not a paid member anymore. But here's what you can do, right? You're going to love this. You're absolutely going to love this, and this is such a powerful question, and the answer is going to help you to understand who we are as a business, because everything we do is all designed to help you achieve that success. So whether you got started 2 years ago, 2 days ago, 2 minutes ago, we want to help you. So Bishop, thank you for joining us 2 years ago. The username and the email address that you use to join with us in CoopCrowd, you can use right now to log in to Co-op Business. And you have a free site in Co-op Business. And here's something else. Right now, you are considered a free agent. So if you were with somebody who's no longer wanting to be with us anymore, you can register with somebody else. And the work that you put in 2 years ago in Co-op Business, it's still there. So if you invited 10 people or 30 people and your cooperative grew and you have 100 people, when you log into your free site, you're still going to see all that there. You're going to see all of those free members that are still part of your team. So that effort that you started 2 years ago, you can still use today. So go to Co-op Business, use the email address that you used when you registered in CoopCrowd, and use the password that you used when you registered in CoopCrowd. That's going to get you into Co-op Business so that you can get started back with us right now. I hope that answered the question, and if it didn't, put another question in there, and we'll do our best to help you out. But I'm going to say welcome back. We're happy to have you back. We've grown. We've done so many great things since the last time that you've taken a look at us. I think you'll be impressed, and we're here to help and support you however you need that help and support. All right, Joe, I hope that answered the question okay. What else have we got?
Yep. Next question's from Bob. When entering co-op 3 minutes a day invites, if an error is entered, we get an error message, but no indicator of where the error has occurred.
That's because we want you to guess where the error was. No, just kidding. That's interesting. The error can only really be in one place, and that is the email address. And I had them fix that because last week when we tried that, if you put in an email address that was already in use, it didn't tell you that that email address was already in use. So I'm going to assume that the error that you're getting right now is that the email address one of the email addresses that you're putting in is already in the system. Now, having said that, this is another situation that is similar to the Bishop situation, is that if you put an email address into CoopCrowd and you get an error message, we'll get that fixed, so it'll say that the email address is already in use. But if you put an email address that is already in use, it doesn't mean that you can't become business partners with that person. It just means that you can't put the email address in the system through the invite a friend. But what you can do is call the person up, because if they're not a paid member, so let's say you're putting in my email address, right? It's going to say that I'm an active member and you can't use it. But let's say you put in Joe's email address, and Joe's email address is already in the system, but she's a free member, right? So if that person's a free member, you can call them up and say, hey, listen, I tried to enter you into the free system, but it wouldn't allow me to, but I want to work with you. because that person's a free agent until they're actually paid. These free members are free agents. So contact the person and let's get them excited about co-op business. I hope that answered the question. If it didn't, just put another follow-up in there and I'll try and be a little clearer.
Okay, Charles and Agnes have two questions. One is that last week you mentioned that anyone can get in touch with you. How does one get in touch with you?
Come on, man. Just send out those invisible messages through the universe. And if you've got, you can send smoke signals, and I'll see them from a distance. Yeah. So here's the thing. Charles and Agnes, put your donor key into the chat. I'll look it up and make sure that your phone number is the correct phone number in your co-op business profile, and I'll reach out to you.
Okay, their follow-up question is that they're having some issues.
Just before we finalize that, I want you to understand something, and I want everybody to understand something, right? So here's what I generally do is, like good business leaders, you find your generals, right? And your generals become part of your liaison to the rest of the team. So right now I'm talking to 100 people, at least 100 people a week, if not more. So these people are like my generals. So I don't have a lot of capacity for new people. But what I will try and do is A, I'll try and get you started, and B, I'll try and find out who is that general that's leading your team, and maybe you're one of those generals, right? Because we're always looking for good leadership to help to propel the co-op business throughout the rest of the world. So I just wanted to. There's only one of me, so I can only do so much talking, I guess, per day is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, they're just having some problems with registration or registering someone. If there's a live human that can help with registration, or what would be the best way to go about getting an error?
Well, this is another reason why I got to hurry up and get that video on shortened and put on the site. So I'll make sure to get that done as quickly as possible. The best in that situation is to send a support ticket through to support, because they will help you. The other thing you can do, even for that particular purpose, put your donor key in there, and I'll reach out to you and see if we can figure out how to get some help. Because if I show you how to do it, then you can show your team how to do it.
Someone mentions that Greg has a video for that. It's a training on YouTube if you want to check it out. But please feel free to add the donor key on the chat as well.
Yeah.
An anonymous attendee says that they have reached out to over 2,000 people through social media and personally, and they're getting a lot of rejections. They're not even having a change of heart a month later. What do you suggest that they do to get them interested?
Well, so here's the thing. You go to school for 13 years, you get a job, you work for 40 years. This is a business. It's not, and it's a brand new business. So people don't understand who we are, what we do yet. We also haven't launched yet. So the people that you're getting some objections from at this point, you should expect to get objections or even rejections at this point, because we're not live, right? So that's going to happen. But here's what I can tell you is that, and it's the same thing I say every week and every day that I'm talking to people, keep doing what you're doing right now, because those efforts that you're putting out right now are going to feed you in the future. When we launch and we start sending out messages to all of those people, then it's not just you all by yourself trying to push the stone up the mountain. Then you have us and the support of the whole cooperative behind you, helping to push that stone up the mountain. And then everything that you've done becomes easy. And all of the people, even if you've talked to 2,000 people so far, I'm sure some of those people have registered, but even if you talk to 2,000 people at this point, most, if not all, of those 2,000 people that you've talked to right now, they're going to join us. Because when we launch, you and the rest of the world are going to see something that is going to amaze them. They're going to see that finally there's a business that actually works. They're going to see that finally there is a business that actually cares about the people that are out there doing the heavy lifting for the business. You're going to see that finally there is a business that when they say something on their website, that they actually mean it, and we can actually meet those things that they're saying on their website. And once we get launched, there's going to be dozens and then hundreds and then thousands of testimonies. And those testimonies will be from people saying, I was a little skeptical. I didn't believe it at first, but I gave it a try. And here it is 3 days later. And they said that I could, if I made money today, I can withdraw it today. So here it is 3 days later. I made $180. I made a withdrawal of $150, and I'm using that money to take my mom out for dinner today. Right? That's a testimony. That's a testament to the fact that our business works. Somebody else might say, I've been in it for a week and a half now. And in this first week and a half, my team is built, and I already have 400 people that are part of my cooperative. I'm well on my way to having a complete cooperative. You see, we're going to have a lot of testimonies, and those testimonies for all those people that we're talking to now, for all those people that we're putting into the invite a friend right now, for the friends that we talk to when we bump into them on the street, for the social media posts that we're doing right now, all of that effort that you're doing right now, it's all going to come back to reward you. So keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing what everybody should be doing right now, but they're not. You're way ahead of the pack. So keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And eventually, and it's not going to be too far from now, all that effort that you put into building your co-op business right now, it's going to pay off in spades. And here's the thing, is that foundation that we build, if we do, what was that person's name, Joe?
They're here as evergreen. Oh, sorry. There they answered. It's anonymous. Sorry.
Oh, okay. If we do what Anonymous is doing, if we all do what Anonymous is doing and build that foundation right now, here's what's going to happen, is that a few weeks from now, a few months from now, if you want to sleep until 11 o'clock, you'll be able to sleep until 11 o'clock. If you want to get up and take your wife to a beautiful dinner, you'll be able to take your wife to a beautiful dinner. If your child says, geez, look at those new Nike shoes, you'll be able to get your child those new shoes. You see, the foundation that you're laying right now is setting you up for the future that you dreamed of. It's setting you up for the future that you desire. It's setting you up so that you have a predictable, ongoing passive income coming into your wallet every second of every day. And when you have a predictable, ongoing passive income coming into your wallet every second of every day, that allows you to have your most precious and most valuable asset all to yourself. And that valuable, precious asset is time. We can't get back yesterday. We can't change what we did yesterday. But what we do today can make our tomorrows the way we want them. So right now, think about this, right? Anonymous says that they put out messages to 2,000 people and they're not getting a lot of results yet. As we continue to do that, all of those people, when people start to hear about co-op business, so you need a donor key, right? All those people, it's going to be like, you know, when iPhone, not so much now, but when iPhone 6 came out, you know, there was lineups, you know, a gazillion miles long because, you know, the only place you could get it was at that store. The exact same thing is going to happen when we launch. People are going to be saying, where can I get a donor key? Where can I get a registration key to join co-op business? And here's the thing. If it was Paul that sent it to you, you're going to go to Paul because Paul's showing leadership even before everybody else. If it was Fiona that sent it to you, you're going to register with Fiona before somebody else because she's showing that leadership. She's showing that she has the foresight to understand that this is the greatest business ever created, and she's out there working it right now. She's showing, and all of the people right now that are doing what they need to be doing at this very moment, they are showing that they looked at co-op business and they made the determination long before everybody else that this is a winner. And when people are looking to register and lock arms with somebody and say, I want to be doing business with you, they want to be doing business with a winner. So what you're doing right now is proving to the world that you've got the foresight and the education, and you've done your due diligence on this business to start doing what you should be doing right now before everybody else. Which brings me to an antidote that I'm going to share with you right now. You see, if you want to be rich, you got to do what rich people do. If you want to be wealthy, you got to do what wealthy people do. And you see, wealthy people don't do what the poor people do. So do what they do. Do what Anonymous is doing. Do what Fiona is doing. Do what I'm doing. Do what Paul is doing. Do what Greg is doing. Do what Bridget is doing. Do what everybody else that's doing something right now is doing, so that in a very short period of time, they have the wealth to enjoy their full measure of happiness with who they want, when they want, where they want, and how they want. You see, that is why I keep saying over and over and over again, take advantage of these precious days that you have right now. Don't sit back and wait. Take advantage right now. Thanks for that question. What's next, Joe?
Evergreen Coach says that I guess this training, which is so valuable for understanding the mechanics of a business, overlaps with the live stream from Greg Baldwin. If we can maybe connect to get that changed.
Well, Greg is he's a member of the team, but he's a member of the team. So he has his own thing going on for co-op business. This is a co-op business corporate presentation. So our corporate presentation is overlapping with lots of other people, right? Because there's lots, and it's the same as our daily presentation. It overlaps with lots of people because there are a lot of members, just like yourself, Evergreen. There's a lot of members that have teammates that are putting on presentations every day, that are putting on webinars every day, right? So this is not the only webinar that's going on for co-op business. This is the only webinar that's going on for co-op business that is a corporate webinar. But listen, I would suspect, even at this early stage right now, that on any given day, there's 100 webinars going on somewhere in the world. So there's always going to be other webinars going on around the world. And Greg, great guy, like a brother, but he's got his webinars going on. We've got our webinars going on, and sometimes we're going to overlap with one another. What's next, Joe?
Next, yeah. Gary asks, what's the process when your 28 days expire?
Love that question as well. You know, you guys are asking some really like, we don't always get intelligent questions. Sometimes the question, and let me rephrase that. We don't always get powerful questions that really need to be answered on a continuous basis. And this is another one of those questions that need to be answered on a continuous basis because a lot of people don't understand what happens. So let me go back to those two steps once again. So I'm going to take you right back to the very beginning. So when you register for $99, you get 3 tokens and you get a, give it forward token from the person that invited you. That's for co-op 28 tokens that you have. Now, if you do what we recommend, which is within your first 28 days, you've invited at least 3 who have done the same, then you're going to have funds in your wallet. So in 28 days, when it comes time to renew your subscription, it will renew out of the funds that you have in your wallet. So you don't have to do anything. It just automatically renews with the funds that you have in your wallet. Now, let's say that it takes you a minute longer than most people to get started. You've got 4 co-op 28 tokens. If 28 days passes by, and let's say you've only invited 2 people so far, then you still have another token there. That other token will be used to automatically renew you to keep you going for another 28 days. So if you have the funds in your wallet, or if you have a token, you don't have to do anything. It just automatically renews you. Now, if you don't have the funds in your wallet and you want to renew, then you just go to your co-op wallet and create an invoice and load your wallet with the funds that you need to get enough money to buy another token to renew yourself. The other thing that you can do is you can speak to a friend, speak to the person that invited you. Say, hey, listen, can I send you $28 and you send me a token? And if they send you a token, then that will renew you as well. So there's many ways that you can renew. But if we're being proactive and we're being drivers and not just simply passengers, then that renewal will happen automatically without any intervention from us because we either have tokens or we have cash already in the wallet. I hope that answers the question for you. If it didn't, just put a follow-up in there and we'll get to it.
Okay, Howard asks, do we have any idea when we will expect emails to begin being sent to our invite?
Yeah. Here's what I can tell you, Howard, is that it is going to happen at least by April 15th. Right now, I believe your invites are getting emails to our overview calls and emails to these Q and A, but we haven't started our marketing emails yet. Those will start on the 15th.
Okay, I just want to,
and by the way, let me just add, because I like to take every opportunity to say things. And, guys, sometimes you hear me say the same thing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times during a single call. There's a reason for that, because spaced repetition, well, it erodes resistance, right? I'm here to help to make sure that the messages that I'm delivering, that we're getting them. And That's why you see the same advertisement on the same TV station over and over and over again, because they're trying to let you know that this is important. So pay attention, right? So I'm going to say this again. Even though we're not going to start our full campaigns until April 15th, use this time right now to keep building your team, to keep solidifying that foundation. Use the invite a friend that you see on your dashboard. Keep building your team, because it's doing a whole bunch of things for you. It's showing you how your income will grow if all of those people decide to pay. And it's showing you that, hey, you know what? For once in my life, I finally found a business that I can actually do and be successful with. So it's actually showing you a lot of things. So keep using those tools that are back there, even though we haven't started those campaigns yet.
So I just wanted to point out to Agnes, who's listening, we received your information, Agnes, okay? All right, next question is from Mary Bruce. When you have 3 people who have joined one decides to upgrade as the sponsor, do you lose that person or do they stay in your team?
You see, this is another one of those great questions. So most of you have been in some type of business before. And in other businesses, if somebody goes to a higher level than you usually lose out. That's not the case here in co-op business. And it's not the case in co-op business is because I wasn't born with multi-millions of dollars in my pocket, and I know what it's like to struggle and not have enough money. So because I know what it's like to struggle and not have enough money, everything that I've done in this business is to make sure that everything that I can do to help you get more money, I'm going to do. And this is another example of me doing exactly that for you. So first, I highly recommend that, and this is not just for you, it's for everybody. I highly recommend that if you have enough money to get into the $1 a day cooperative and the $10 a day cooperative, you do it as soon as possible. As soon as possible, because many things might happen, including people wanting to join you in that higher level, because people will do what the leader does. But if you don't have enough to get into that higher level, don't stress too much, because if you've invited 6 people and they all joined you on the $1 a day, then you're going to get maximum royalties on those 6 people that have joined you in the $1 a day. If one of those parties decides that they want to go to the higher level before you've had a chance to go to that higher level, you still get 25%. You still get an enrollment royalty for that person going to the higher level. So if somebody goes up into that 280, you receive 6250 in your wallet immediately because you invited that person. All right. So we're not leaving you out in the cold. We still want to reward you, but it gets better than that. You see, we know you worked hard to get that person. And we don't want you stressing or thinking you've got to quit if somebody goes to a higher level before you, because you only lose a little bit. And let me explain when I say you only lose a little bit. There's 3 ways in which you get paid royalties in co-op business, and 100% gets paid out of the payment that comes in. Number 1, you get 25% for inviting somebody, right? And you get that 25% 13 times a year, because 28 goes into 364 13 times. So we have a charge, a renewal every 28 days. You also get your royalties 13 times every year. The second way that you receive money is through the cooperative, the 10 generations that we have. 50% is divided amongst those 10 generations and split up. So every single time somebody new joins us, or every single time that there's a renewal, 10 people, 10 business owners, 10 global business owners are getting paid. That's phenomenal. And then the third way that we pay out is through bonuses. And that's when you have your 3 who have 3. So the 25% that you get for inviting somebody works out, and if it's on the 280, it works out to $87.50. If it's on the 28, it works out to $8.75. It's 25%. $12.50 goes in through the cooperative. That's another 50%. Let me go back to the 875 for a minute, because it's really super important that you understand this. So let's say that I know Fiona and I know Patty. Both of those two people I know have superior marketing abilities. And for this particular purpose, let's pretend that Fiona, not only does she have superior marketing capabilities, but she also has exceptional leadership capabilities. But Patty, and only for this example, because I know Patty is an exceptional leader, but only for this example, let's say Patty's not really a leader. He's just trying to get the people to join him, right? But he knows how to get the people in, but he's not leading them to duplicate. So let's say Patty invites 1,000 people. So Patty's going to make $87,750 $87,000 from inviting those 1,000 people. And I'm going to get something too, because I invited them in this particular example. But now let's go to Fiona. And let's say Fiona, she understands that compounding and leveraging our relationships to everybody's advantage is a better way to go. So she invites 5 people. And then she focuses on those 5 people to make sure that those 5 people are trained properly and they understand the business properly. And she makes sure that those 5 people that she invited, that they at least get 3 each. All right, so now she's satisfied her business and she's now receiving the maximum amount on everything that happens. And let's say that because she's a great leader, she's inspired people to each get their 3 to help set up 3 others with global business ownership in 7 days. And let's say it took Patty 70 days to find those 1,000 people, and Fiona's business is growing every 7 days. It means that at the end of those 70 days, Patty's got $87,500 in his pocket, which is good for Patty, not good for the rest of the team, because his teammates don't have much at all, if anything. But Fiona, who invited just 5, but was a leader and got them to duplicate by getting 3, she's at almost $1 million a month now after 7 days. So who would you rather be working with? Patty, who's just throwing people into the system, or Fiona, who's teaching her team to be team leaders and duplicates? Patty's at $87,500. Fiona's at $1 million. And because she's done it properly, her friends are on the verge of being at $1 million. But here's what's even more important, is that money is a predictable, ongoing passive income. So that money that Fiona is receiving, that money that Fiona's team is receiving, it's going to happen every 28 days. So that if she's at $1 million a month during that 28-day period of time, every second of every day, she's got more money coming in and totaling $1 million every 28 days. Well, Patty's got 1,000 people, and most of them are going to quit because he didn't tell them what to do. They don't know what to do. So teach your people properly. And when you teach your people properly, amazing things happen to you. Now, let me finish answering that question, because the cooperative, if you've got a full cooperative, if you invite 3 friends and you get, and it's just $1 a day, you're going to get $26.25. So it's 25%, right? But it only amounts to $26.25. Then you got 50%, which goes into the cooperative. And when you have a full cooperative of 88,572 people, you're getting a royalty every 28 days from that 88,572 people. You'll receive $142,005. $142,005 from your cooperative. So you get 1875. I said it wrong the first time. You get 1875 from your enrollment royalty for inviting those 3 friends, which is not, can't even buy dinner. You get $142,005 when you have a completed cooperative. Now, you've heard me say that if you invite 3 and they invite 3 and that duplication process continues, you will ultimately receive $972,753 every 28 days. You will. $972,753. That leaves $830,000. That leaves $830,000. That is the bonuses. And that is why you want to get 3 who have 3 as quickly as possible, because your bonuses are huge. Now let's go back to answering that question and how fair we are here at Co-op Business. Yes, that person is going to go into somebody else's cooperative. And yes, it is going to help somebody else's cooperative fill. And no, it's not going to help your cooperative fill, but you are going to get that 25%. And when you go up to that 280, that $10 a day cooperative, that person counts as one of your 3 who have 3, and you receive those massive bonuses. So even if that person is not in your cooperative and you have 3 who have 3, it doesn't matter where they are in co-op business. If you invited 3 who have 3, you qualify for those massive bonuses. And eventually, your cooperative is going to fill up. But you're not missing out. We pay you because we always want to do the right thing at Co-op Business and put as much money as possible into your pocket. Now, that was a long-winded answer, but I truly hope that everybody who's listening right now is really understanding that this is the greatest business ever created. And from our perspective, there is nobody more important than you. And that everything that we do for you. You've heard me say on our presentations, one of the slides says it's all about you. Folks, it's all about you and making your life better and helping you to get the things, the life that you deserve. And let me tell you something else. You see how this plan is today? You see how rewarding this plan is today? Here's something that I can tell you right now. I'm looking at you right in the eyeball. This is the most rewarding plan on the planet. No matter how many members we have, no matter how much money our members are making, we will never change this plan. So you can rest assured, you can put your head down on your pillow with the full knowledge that we are in this for you today, we are in this for you tomorrow, and we are in this for you every single day for the rest of your lives. We're here to help you win. What's our next question, Joe?
Okay, Janet asked, can email addresses be changed in the system?
Yeah, 100%. Go to log into your dashboard, log into your dashboard using your username and password. Go to your co-op profile, and you can change your email address and reset your password in your co-op profile.
Okay, Evergreen Coach. I understand that once I have 3 strategic partners, I don't need to sponsor. However, if I recruit 4 or 5 directly, do I get paid the same as the first 3? And my understanding, it will go to my second level that has 9 spots. What percentage would I receive? Where and how are they placed in the system?
Another great question. And for this, I need to get my iPad, so one moment. Gonna clean it off. Love the questions we're getting here today. All right. I think you can see that. Can you not, Joe? Is that clear?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, cool. So Evergreen, you're that dot, you're number 1. And in this particular case, you've invited 6 people before anyone else has had a chance to do anything. The first 3 people go 1, 2, 3, because that's where they're supposed to go. And because there's only 3 positions possible on your first income level, it means that if you invite a 4th, 5th, and the 6th, or in the 7th and 8th and 9th, then they have to go on your second level. So in this particular case, number 4 is going to go in under number 1. When number 4 goes in under number 1, you still receive that 25% because you invited number 4. And you'll get that 25% every 28 days. But here's the beautiful thing about team support. This is called help from above. Number 1, because of your efforts, is receiving a royalty even though they didn't invite number 4. And because we use a staggered fill to help the most people, if you invite a 5th person, it goes under number 2 and you get another 25%. Plus you get a cooperative royalty and you get bonus royalties. And number 2 will get a cooperative royalty even though they didn't invite that person. Number 6 will go in under number 3. So number 3 is now benefiting from your efforts. So as you see there, you benefit even more when you invite more people. And not only do you benefit even more, but your teammates also benefit even more. Now I'm going to show you one other thing here. Let's say that number 4 invites somebody. So obviously that person is going to go in under number 4. Number 4 is going to get royalties. They're going to get at least 2 royalties because they're going to get the cooperative bonus and they're going to get the invite bonus royalty. Number 1 is now going to get another royalty, even though they haven't done anything yet. And you are also going to get paid. That's the beauty about this system. And that's the beauty about how we help one another. Well, I was going to show you something else, but the universe is probably telling me not to show you something else. Because I was going to show you how the help from above works, but I accidentally hit the erase button, so it erased it, and I wasn't able to show it to you. I'll do it at some other time, but I was going to show you how, we are in this as a team. Like, we aren't just individuals. And I learned a long time ago from my mom and my dad, who are the greatest teachers that I could ever have. And one of the things that they said to me is that if you can do it by yourself, then your dream is too small, right? Because there's nothing you can do by yourself that is going to have an impact on other people's lives, right? So if you can do it by yourself, then your dream is too small. That's why we have a cooperative, because we can't fill up 88,572 people all by ourselves. We need to work as a team. And in this particular case, it's such a beautiful, perfect system. If we each only do our minimum requirement, which is each invite 3, it means that eventually our cooperative of 88,572 people is going to fill. That's what you get from working with one another. And this system is what we get, us, me and you, to use to create the lifetime, the rest of our lives, the way we want. Because I have spent time looking at virtually every system on the planet, putting together virtually every system on the planet, using them, putting them into practice, running simulations. And I found that this 3x10 cooperative is the ultimate, the absolute best system that I could put together to allow you to live the life you choose and enjoy your full measure of happiness. I didn't want a system that pays you $1,000 a week. I didn't want a system that pays you $10,000 a month. I didn't want a system that pays you $25,000 a month. And by the way, just in case you don't understand, if you're making $25,000 a month, you are still broke. And in case you don't understand, let me take a minute here to explain it. Because when you understand how much things really cost, you understand that $25,000 a month, it'll allow you to live, but it won't allow you to thrive. So $25,000 a month here in Toronto, this is what it gets you. First of all, you're going to have taxes. So you're going to pay $7,500 in taxes, which now brings you down to $17,500. Toronto's a very expensive city. If you're living frugally, meaning that if you're living on the lower end, you're spending $5,000 a month. So now you're down to $12,500 and you haven't even gone on a vacation yet. And already half your money's already gone. So let's pretend that you save that $12,500, right? Because a lot of people think, I got $12,500 left. Those people, and I can go party. You see, those people aren't thinking about getting wealthy. They're thinking about Saturday, right? Because when you got $12,500 and you think you can go party, it's because you're thinking of Saturday. You're not thinking about your future. You're not thinking about wealth. So let's say that you save that $12,500 every month for a year. At the end of the year, if you get some reasonable interest, you're going to have close to $150,000. $150,000. I've got 4 cars. Only one of them costs less than $150,000. If you want to go out and buy a new car, you're going to spend close to $150,000 if you want a car that is safe for you and your family. Now, let's say you want a house. You know, a house in Toronto, up until last year, the average price of a house in Toronto was $2 million for a single family home. It's now come down. It's a little under $1.5 million, but that's still it's a lot of cake. It's a lot of bank. Got to have a pretty fat wallet to get a house here in Toronto. So now let's take that $150,000 and save it for 10 whole years. So you work for 10 whole years and you save every penny for those entire 10 whole years. The only thing you can buy with that $1.5 million is debt. You can't live free. That is why I created a plan that allows you to make enough money to allow you to live, to allow you to thrive, to allow you to get the things that you want, to allow you to get your business funded and have funding coming in so that you can keep your business running, and to allow you to have the money that you need so that you can live your life the way you want. That is why I came up with this plan. This, folks, is a cooperative, and if we each do a little, we are all going to receive a lot. And I want you to keep saying this over and over again. As a matter of fact, you should probably all put it on a piece of paper, put it on your fridge, put it on your mirror for where you go to wash your face and shave in the morning. Put it somewhere where you can see it at all times, because this is the most important statement that you are ever going to have when it pertains to co-op business. We each do a little to all receive a lot. We each do a little for us all to receive a lot. Write that down, put it on your fridge, put it on your mirror, put it on your TV, put it as a screensaver on your phone. Remember it. Remember it for you, and remember it for your teammates. And when I wanted something, when I knew that I needed to make a sale, when I had a clothing store, when a customer came walking in the door, I thought of 2 things. One, I am going to give that customer expert service so that that customer will always want to use me when they come back in the store again. And number 2, I asked myself a question. Do I want to eat Kraft dinner or do I want to eat steak? You see, when I ask myself that question, if I let that customer walk out of the store without making a sale, then I'm going to eat Kraft dinner. But if I treated that customer with expert care and provided that customer with expert service, he would buy stuff from me, and then I could eat steak. See, everything that we do in life is all about perception. Sorry, not perception, perspective. And what perspective you have in your life. So, once again, we each do a little to all receive a lot. Write that down. Put it somewhere where you can see it every day, because your job in co-op business is not done until you have at least 3 or more who have at least 3 or more. So write that down. And even after you get your 3 who have 3, don't throw it out. You got to remind yourself to keep going. You got to remind yourself that the new teammates that are joining you on your 3rd level, on your 4th level, on your 5th level, on your 10th level, you got to remind yourself that for you to win, you had to write that statement down, and you had to fulfill that statement so that you could live debt-free, stress-free, and financially free for the rest of your life. And the reason why you need to keep this statement is so that you can pass on that knowledge to the other people that are coming to join you, so that you can pass on that knowledge when you're doing your own table talk presentation, so that you can pass on that knowledge when you're doing your own webinars, so that you can pass on that knowledge when you bump into a friend and you say, would you like to join me? You can tell them that our success is reliant and dependent upon us each doing a little for us all to receive a lot. It is not going to work if you join me and you become a passenger. It's going to work for me, but it's not going to work for you. So you got to remind people, we each do a little to all receive a lot to be successful in a cooperative. Joe, we're coming up to almost 1:30 here. I don't think we can get to all these questions today. How many more questions are there actually?
I have 5.
Okay, let's do these last 5 questions. I'll try and answer them in less time. Let's do these last 5 questions, and then we'll move on and get ready for the rest of our day. Go ahead, Joe.
So this is a piggyback question to what you had just explained on the iPad. Does it do that all the way down to the 10th generation?
Yes, the staggered fill is all the way through.
Okay. Next question from Charles and Agnes. When you do your registration, there is an exchange fee included in the price we paid. Will there be an exchange fee when we take money out from your co-op account?
There's an exchange fee, but it's very, very low. It's only 1% or 1.5% to take it out in co-op wallet, which is way less than what other companies charge. So it's a very small exchange fee. And here's the beautiful thing, is that once the money's in your wallet, you don't have to keep paying those network fees and stuff like that every 28 days. Because if you do what you need to do, right, then you've got money in your wallet, and then it's only 1%, right? So it's only going to cost you $28.28, right, to renew, instead of having to pay that those high network fees that we have no control over.
Okay, next question from Eric. Am I supposed to pay $25 for one person and bring people to also get donations?
Let me try and see if I understand that question properly. So first of all, everything in the system is all automatic. So when you pay your $99, if you're brand new and you pay your $99, then you get your 3 tokens. 3 are to use to pay it forward to your 3 friends, and you also receive that pay it forward token from your friend. If you have more than 3 people, then we actually cover you. We'll pay that extra money on your behalf as a loan, which is something which is going to take me a moment to explain. So listen, here's another example of how we are here to help you in your business. So we know that many of you are going to want to invite more than 3 friends. You only bought 3 tokens to get started. Now, depending on how quickly your business grows and how quickly your teammates grow, if your business grows faster than the rest of your team around you is growing, then you're going to need more tokens. Like if you invite 10 people, for example, let's say you invite 13 people and all 13 people join you, right? That means you have to have 13 pay it forward tokens. You've only got 3. That $99, we say it's a one-time out-of-pocket expense. We mean it. We are going to support your business. Check this out, because this is so important to understand. We are going to support your business and lend you that other $280 so that you can get those other 10 teammates going, so you don't have to take more money out of your pocket. And then now you got 13 teammates, as those 13 teammates get busy with it, and as the teammates get busy with it, it'll start reducing that $280 and it'll turn it into a profit. So we support you in your business by fronting you, actually. So I hope that answers the question for you. If you don't have any money in your wallet and you're lapsed, then yeah, you got to put the 28 plus whatever the fees are into your wallet so that you can get that token to renew yourself. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, from Fred, what promotional tools do we have right now?
The promotional tools that are working at this very moment are the invite a friend. So when you invite somebody, you can use that, and they're getting into the system, and they are getting an email letting them know that we've got conference calls and webinars and Q&A calls and stuff like that. And once we start the campaigns, then they'll all get those. So that's your best tool right now. It also helps you to build your system. As a matter of fact, even when we put the rest of the tools in there, that invite a friend tool is the greatest tool ever created for a business, because every time you invite somebody, and by the way, so if you are a paid member, you're an active global business owner. If you put somebody into the free system and you're on your co-op 28, you're not going to see your numbers go up. So click on co-op free. When you click on co-op free, then you can see your numbers go up. So remember, there's 3 cooperators. There's a co-op 28, co-op 280, and a co-op free. They're all different. So remember to click on that co-op free, because it just struck me that many of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. So we've got co-op free. When this webinar is over, go and log in and check out your co-op free, and then add a couple of people so you can see how your report card goes up. And then we've got some other tools. We got some great tools that are coming up, challenges and social shares and stuff like that. At least one or two additional tools will be ready when we launch on April 15th.
Okay, this kind of applies as well. What are the advantages to being a free member when we launch?
Well, the advantages of being a free member right now is you've got, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then you've already got a team that's building up below you, right? So that means when we launch, you might have 100, 500, 1,000 people that are below you. But again, they're all free. So, if you, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. But the advantages is that people will see how their business is growing. And at some point in time, you're going to want to make the decision to become a paid member, become an active global business owner. And then obviously the rewards are much greater. If you're just a free member, you can still receive money, right? If you've invited 10 people and all 10 of those people go and pay before you're going to get $625 times $10, so you're going to get $6,250. But it's not going to make you rich. So you want to get become an active donor as quickly as possible. But as a free member, at least you can see how your team builds. You can determine whether or not this is something that you can do before, taking $99 out of your pocket and joining us, because you want to know whether or not this is something that you can do. I believe this is built for 100% of the people, but maybe you can't do it, maybe you don't want to do it. So at least as a free member, it gives you an opportunity to see a lot of things, and most importantly, determine whether or not this is for you.
Okay, that's it.
Great. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I see we didn't even lose anybody. Everyone who was on here from the beginning of the call is still on here now that this webinar is over. So, folks, thank you very much for allowing me to for the last hour and a half. It's been my pleasure. I feel really good on this call because I think you guys asked some really incredible questions. I think those questions gave you a greater understanding of what co-op business is and what we do for you. So thank you once again for asking those questions. Very, very helpful. And I hope that you got as much out of this as I got out of it, because we're here to help you. We're here to support you. We're here to make sure that, if you do the 2 simple doable steps, you get rewarded for it. Those are facts. No ifs, ands, or buts. We just want to make it easier. So this is David T Rosen saying thank you once again for allowing me into your life. We got 2 overview calls, Tuesday and Thursday this coming week. Same time, different link. For now, get busy with it. And remember, write that note. Write that note, because it's your encouragement. We each do a little to all receive a lot. Put it everywhere that you frequent, in your car, on your fridge, in your mirror, everywhere that you frequent. Put it everywhere. Get your teammates to do the same. Let's get busy with it. Have an excellent weekend. This is David T Rosen signing off. Ciao for now.